Oh, champ. Listen, gang. Academics seems to be using Pusha T's issues with UMG as leverage for Drake's UMG lawsuit. Did you know that, champ? Well, guess what you know now? Oh, yeah. We on the mayor's platform. Yeah, we gonna get to the bottom of this. All right. Do the mayor a favor, though. Make sure you run up the likes. Make sure you smashing the like, sharing the video, gang. We gonna get into this. All right. But first, we do have to fill up the room. I ain't gonna lie. Let the room get filled first, okay? Yeah, this a lot. This late night man, okay? Late night man, gang. Run up these likes, you heard? You gonna get into this, yeah. Academics using Pusha T's issues with UMG as leverage for Drake's UMG lawsuit. That's right. You heard correct, champ. You heard right. Let's get into this, shall we? Salute to the chat, man. Let's do it.
This is why hip hop kind of sucks right now, right? Like, nobody has any type of emotion. I know it's well, people need to drop new music. Well, okay. One of the guys y'all love, Pusha T. I got no idea what the fuck he's dropping. But all I know is that he's regurgitating the same thing we all keep eating off, pause, which is the Drake and Kendrick beef. So now supposedly, we get some new headline that the Clips has something go on, but it involves Kendrick and Drake. Once again, everything in hip hop does not make a pin drop. Nobody's dropping hot enough music to make any type of sizable splash beyond a few without bringing it back to Drake and Kendrick. Okay. This is the only thing I see people talking about Pusha T, with all due respect. So, shout out to Steven Victor. He's the guy who managed, I believe, Pusha T, and he also managed Pop Smoke. I guess he did an interview, and it says early in 2024, the Clips prepared to play a new album for their label, Def Jam. While these type of playbacks could be routine, this one was freighted but with extra significance. The rap duo composed of the brother Pusha T and Malice had not released an album since 2009. The comeback soon hit a speed bump. One of the songs featured on the new album was going to have a guest verse from Kendrick Lamar, who spent part of 2024 in a venomous back and forth with Drake. And as Pusha T recently told GQ, Lamar's presence on the Clips track made Def Jam's parent company uncomfortable. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse,
So, basically, what's going on is this. Pretty much, and I talked about it yesterday, Pusha T had a verse on a Pop Smoke record that got removed by UMG because they thought it was dissing Drake, right? This is around the time when Drake still had motion. They ain't want no more disses towards Drake. Apparently, he was ruining his image of something to some degree, right? This was back when UMG was making Drake happy. He ain't happy no more. Right. Somebody in the chat asked me why I can't do episodes about Cam and Mace ducking Akademiks. Well, champ, how many videos you want me to make about Cam and Mace? I done made about 3 or 4. I literally made everything you could make on Cam and Mace ducking Akademiks. I don't know what more you want me to do, champ. That's an irrelevant topic now. If you didn't see the rest of the videos, I don't know what to tell you. But I already went in on Cam and Mace. I don't know what the hell you want me to do. All right, you want me to talk about something that's no longer a topic? Because it's not relevant right now. I want you to know. I spoke on it. It didn't happen. And that's it, champ. You're going to have to deal with it. Sorry. But let's continue.
Of course, I was never doing. Then they want me to take the record off the album. The Clips refused to make the requested change, leading to an unraveling of Pusha T's association with Def Jam, his label home for over a decade. Even though the rapper still owed Def Jam albums, he paid 7-figure sum to get out of that deal. Let me stop right there. I see a lot of people trying to run this as a headline. Yes, if you don't finish your recording contract, you're going to have to buy yourself out of a recording situation. This is not new. It's not special to Pusha T. There's been many artists who have done so. I believe Waka Flocka did that. I believe Kanye even did that. Jay-Z even did that. Again, it is not out of the ordinary that if you're unhappy with what you're, again, I need to remind people, if you are signed to a label, you signed to your daddy. And if your daddy doesn't like something because you signed off all your rights and they do not want to put out music as per your instructions or your request, you must get off that label, and you will not get off for free. You must buy yourself out. That's why historically many artists work their entire career to gain the amount of capital or gain the amount of leverage that they could buy themselves out of their deal. in a higher level conversation, congrats to Taylor Swift. We could even get to that a little bit later. Taylor Swift has now acquired back her masters after a lot of strategic moves for over a decade to get back her masters. The point is this. This is not news that someone has to pay their label to get out of a situation. So let's keep continuing reading. Okay, according to longtime manager Steven Victor, if you're an artist, your whole life is to create art and put it out. If someone's telling you can't do that, or you have to do it within the confines of what box you put in, that's like creative jail. Okay, Pusha T has an antagonist history with Drake. Okay, cool. He dropped story of Added On. Victor says Pusha T verses have been facing strict label scrutiny ever since. Meanwhile, fallout from the battle with Drake is still ongoing. The latter has sued Universal Music Group, accusing the company of defamation over Kendrick Lamar's song. Victor spoke with Billboard and at the end of the relationship, about the end of the relationship, and find a new home for the rapper. And basically they said, where did you start hearing objections to Kendrick Lamar's verse on the Clips album? Where were they coming from? UMG has this department where they review lyrics. So it was that department. The real reason that department is there is to protect artists and their labels from lawsuit for copyright infringement. They do it for all labels. Some labels adhere to them closer than others. Let's say you interpolated someone else.
So they got people who review the lyrics. I didn't even know they had people who review the lyrics. I didn't know that they had people at UMG who just review lyrics and like, hold on a second. Yeah, we're not going to go through with this one, champ. After further review, yeah, it looks like this isn't applicable for the album. Sorry, champ. You won't be able to drop this verse. It's not going to work, gang. Yeah. It's not going to do us any justice. Yeah, we're going to need you to get rid of this verse. Maybe try another one. But we're not doing this. Yeah. This one won't work, gang. Okay? That's crazy. So they had restrictions on Drake. This is at a point in time. And Drake got the nerve to sue these guys. It's crazy. They was looking out for Drake. And now all of a sudden, the tables have turned. Crazy.
Songs. The department is there to make sure that the song is properly cleared. It's not meant to be, you said XYZ about XYZ artists, so we're not going to release the music. Says, while you've been working with Pusha T, have you had challenges in this department before? In the beginning, no. But starting in 2018, absolutely. Okay? That's the year Pusha T released the story of Added On. He put that on SoundCloud. It was never officially released on streaming services. So was that a way of getting around any internal objections? A part of the reason, yes, to avoid that. And also, we never properly cleared it. Pusha T mentioned 2 songs in his interview with GQ Rick Ross. With GQ, he says Rick Ross, Maybach Music 6. And he also said Pop Smoke, Paranoia, where his verses were ultimately cut. He says, was that because of the same department scrutiny? He says, yes. What happened on the Pop Smoke song is that UMG thought he was dissing Drake on that song. He wasn't, but they thought he was. Pop Smoke was released on my label. Victor, and obviously I managed Pusha T, so they came to me and said, we're not going to put this out now unless you get Pusha to change these lyrics. Even though it had nothing to do with Pop Smoke. They're like, either change these lyrics or we're not putting the album out. What happened to freedom of speech? First of all, he's not dissing Drake, but how do you get him to tell him to change his lyrics so you're not putting the album out? Now, let me pause this right there. And this is where, issues like this and topics like this, I really don't care to speak about, because we're just hearing people trying to contort all type of arguments to fit their narrative. Let me tell you this very plainly, okay? Drake just blew the whistle on his own label. If you want to pose the question, oh, you're blowing the whistle on shit you've enjoyed, cool. But I spent a whole year hearing from K-Bots that labels got nothing to do with artists' music and the music they put out. Drake blew the whistle and say, yeah, they do. Everybody said, no, they don't. Now we're hearing, oh, they did. We can't have it both ways. So if you think this is wrong, and by the way, am I saying that Drake hasn't benefited from this? That's
labels got everything to do with it. You do realize the labels got to clear certain things for albums and whatnot, depending on what type of record deal you got. Based on the record deal you got, the label could, listen, they could say you can't do this collaboration because we don't want it. They could say you can't use this beat because we don't want to use this beat. This producer, right? We haven't approved this producer to be on this album. We haven't approved this artist to be featured on this album. It depends on your label, your contract, or what type of contract you got with that label, though. King James says Drake's legal team also claims the UMG terminated employees who were perceived loyal to Drake as part of an effort to conceal their schemes. That would be interesting if that's true. You got to show paperwork, though. You got to prove these things. Narratives is narratives. Narratives don't work in court. You gotta have facts, gang. I done been to court enough times to know you gotta have facts, or it don't mean nothing in the court of law. You dig? I'm just saying. But boy, this is interesting. Let's continue.
That's not my point. The point is there was a previous thought that labels do not control and cannot control what an artist wants to put out. This is saying quite the opposite. This is saying Drake probably has a point to say, hey, why did you allow this nigga to call me a pedophile? That makes complete sense now. Now, this is like a conundrum for all the fans that are like, they're like dick riding either side because, everyone wants to be right. You can't have it both ways. I got to pick a side, okay? Here's one side, okay? And maybe Drake fans want to go over this side. Hey, Drake is a bit of a hypocrite because he's been helped by some of the tactics UMG has used. Yes, if he's been helped by these tactics and these tactics are commonplace, yes, UMG is absolutely wrong if they allow someone to put out a scathing diss song calling him a pedophile, then promote it to the top of the charts. Yes, they're wrong, but Drake is a bit of a hypocrite. That's one side. I think the Drake fans will go over there. Now, for y'all K-bots who are in disbelief and y'all saying Drake is just a bitch because he lost, you now have to say, Pusha, get out your feelings. They're not doing that for Drake. Niggas can put out whatever they want, just like how they let Kendrick put out whatever he wants. You can't have it both ways. So you either gotta tell Pusha to shut the fuck up, or you could say, Drake, you're a bit of a hypocrite, but you're right. They could have stopped the Not Like Us from coming out. That's really this whole conversation, and I'm actually surprised that anybody's even talking about it beyond that. But we'll keep reading the thing.
But how could they have stopped a battle from happening that they both agreed to have? According to Joe Budden, Drake and Kendrick got on the phone right before this battle even started and they had an agreement, okay? And once the agreement was broken with push-ups, where he talks about Whitney and Kendrick's kids, well, guess what? The gloves was all from there. The gloves was all from there, gang. Yeah. And guess what? He gave the man permission to call him a Geppetto. So why should UMG stop him from doing so when the man gave him permission? We keep forgetting the tailor-made freestyle where this man gave Kendrick full-blown permission to call him a Geppetto because he thought it wouldn't work. It didn't work in the past. When people was calling him a Geppetto for the Millie Bobby Brown situation back in like 2018, 2019, nobody said anything. It was kind of quiet, even though people were making noise on social media. But the moment that Kendrick said it, it made a lot of noise. When it got real mainstream and an actual rapper called this man a Geppetto for the first time ever, because Pusha T didn't even call this nigga Geppetto, everybody was like, yeah, champ, you're a Geppetto. And then all of the media vlogs got pushed crazy in the algorithm. Now everybody knows you as a Geppetto. Now you're mad. Now you're mad that whatever you said, gave him permission to do, actually worked. Yeah, he's mad because calling him a Geppetto actually worked against him instead of for him. That's why Drake's mad. 1,000%. Like it's common sense. It's common math. You dig it? It ain't nothing more than that. You can't be upset that something that you gave this man permission to do worked against you, champ. You didn't know that this was gonna end in this way. You feel me? I am really tired of talking about this. I ain't gonna lie, but it is what it is, man. Run up these likes, man. How many likes do we got? I can't even see how many likes we got, but we need to run these likes up, gang. Respectfully, if you didn't hit the like button, I would kindly appreciate it if you would do such things at this moment, because that would work. It only takes 0.1 milliseconds to hit the like, gang. I ain't gonna lie. We got 122 in the building, gang. Can we please run up the likes to 100? Please and thank you. Let's do that. But let's continue.
Okay. So they thought it was this, and it said, what happened to freedom of speech is not this in Drake. He said, from what Pusha told GQ, this Kendrick verse they were concerned about on the new record isn't this in Drake either. He says, yeah, I don't know what their concern is. But they were like, there's a line here. We think it's controversial. Kendrick needs to change it, or we're not putting it out. We're not going to ask him to change his verse. You guys are wrong. Stop looking this way. Now, also, you K-bots, I need you guys to be held accountable as well. We've seen Kendrick Lamar, who y'all have called Jesus. We saw him take distinct, significant stances against censoring any type of artistic expression. You've done it, and you stood up for people of the likes of R. Kelly, seemingly, not directly, but definitely for XXXTentacion. When was that? Back when Spotify was trying to institute a policy to not playlist or support any artist who was accused of domestic violence or other things that was considered heinous crimes. You penned a letter or you put it out there that you stood with those artists and you would stand against Spotify. If Daddy's saying he won't put out your verse and you don't call him out, I feel like this issue that Pusha T might have should fall in the lap of Kendrick, not be blamed on Drake. Kendrick has taken stances. Y'all say Jesus. Why he ain't he should have told UMG? Well, y'all ain't getting my next album if you censor this one verse. That's what he should have done. So the mere fact that he didn't do that, and now we've watched him take other stances, what are we talking about? Well, you just want to blame Drake? That's convenient for your conversation. It's convenient for your conversation. Drake don't like Pusha T, and he don't like Kendrick. So if he could block them, if he could trip their baby mama, if he could kick their grandma, he would. Okay? Don't blame the op for you not being able to have a safe community. You're supposed to go get the op. That's the reality of it. So if you're going to take this, and I know this is the K-Bots like demeanor. Well, this Drake don't like y'all anyway. If I could use any type of suppression method to get some niggas I don't like suppressed, fuck it. So don't blame the guy who don't like him. Blame the guy who supposedly has comparable power in the industry that we've seen speak up before, not doing nothing about it. Okay? That's
King James made a very good point in the chat. He said most of the songs were on IG and YouTube, not DPS. UMG couldn't do nothing. Only NLU and Euphoria were on DSPs. UMG just saw money. That's a fact. A supreme cash grab. Now, in this instance, there was incredible monetization going on. The money was going insane. The money was going crazy. I mean, Kendrick, Drake, millions of views within minutes of uploading their videos, their songs. Minutes, millions of views in minutes. You know how much money that is? You know how much money came out of that, bro? Insane money. You dig? Insane money. But like I said, listen, in court, if you gave somebody permission to do something, it's going to be used against you in court. UMG even heard the mayor say this multiple times. I was the first person saying it. I was saying, look, in Taylor Made Freestyle, he gave Kendrick permission to call him a Geppetto. I didn't say it countless times. I was the first person to say it. Nobody else said it. I said it. Countless times, gang. UMG used it in one of those letters to the judge and all that. They said, yeah, but he actually gave him permission though. Yeah, he did. He did. And I believe that case is supposed to begin this month, right? Yeah. It's supposed to start this month, gang. It's supposed to start this month. By the way, man, make sure y'all running up these likes. We need the likes to go up to at least 100, please, and thank you. We got more than enough people in the building. If you would kindly hit that like, helps the algorithm, gang. It's important to press the like. The like is important, gang. Run up these likes, please, and thank you. Let's continue.
That's my point to it. So it got to the point where the conversation became, you can't keep stopping this guy from being able to put out his art. He's a rapper. Every time he puts out an album or a song, you can't listen to it to make sure he's not dissing somebody before you put it out. He has to think about what he's saying before he's saying it in hopes that you might not think he's saying the wrong thing. Who could live their life like that? By the way, I do agree. I went to them and said, let us put the song out somewhere else since you guys have issue with it. You guys won't have to stand behind it, whatever complication that come from it. We'll put the song out somewhere else and we'll license it back to you when the album comes out. Their response was, how about you just find somewhere to put the clips, okay? Meaning saying, we rather you niggas out of here, okay? Now, here's the thing. I don't think that's a Drake issue. That's what's called not enough leverage. They're not telling Taylor Swift, you have a gripe, how about you just leave the label? No, they're saying this because they're probably saying the Clips is trying to be more of a headache. And I'm not agreeing with what UMG is doing, but if that's what's happening, let's just be realistic. What they just told you is that you guys have no value to them. They told you that you guys don't really hold water and they don't give two fucks if you guys stay on their label or leave. That should be understood and should be operated like that. Don't blame the label, because if you start blaming the label, you now sound like Drake. And the people who are trying to agree with Pusha, y'all all say Drake's a bitch for blaming the label. So again, let's go back to the conversation. Remember, Drake's suing the label.
He's suing. He's suing, and he's suing for something that's corny. Pusha T situation ain't got no comparison to Drake's situation. Drake's situation and Pusha T situation is two completely different situations. See, if UMG is trying to silence a Pusha T verse that has absolutely nothing to do with Drake, then that's just wrong on their part. Like, that's corny on their behalf. Like, bro, he ain't dissing him. Why y'all accusing him of dissing somebody he's not dissing? And why the hell do y'all think y'all could control what this man can say on his verse? And what you're accusing him of doing is clearly false. He's not dissing Drake. But Drake is taking it a step further. He's suing for defamation on UMG over a diss record that is somewhat defaming his name. Well, champ, this is what happens with diss tracks. Your name can get defamed in a diss track. When Daz Dillinger told Corrupt that he was a Geppetto, he called him that. Corrupt didn't sue Daz Dillinger for calling him a Geppetto. Well, for one, it was true what Daz Dillinger was saying, just like it was true what Kendrick Lamar was saying. Yeah, Corrupt and Drake is both Geppettos. So why in the world would anybody be suing when it's true that is what you are? I mean, people have been calling you a Geppetto. Drake has felt some way about being called a Geppetto because even in the song Another Late Night that he did with Lil Yachty, he says, mention Millie Bobby and we get to really flocking, because he knows that people was online calling him a Geppetto before that. So people been calling Drake a Geppetto because everybody knew he was one. I mean, you're a 30-plus-year-old man with a 14-year-old girl, taking her to dinner and putting her on yachts. Yeah, you're a weirdo, nigga. And I don't trust not one nigga who would ever do such things and text a minor that's not their family member. You are a weirdo. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. You're a Geppetto. Okay? Yeah, that's what you are, champ. You are a kid lover. You love children, champ. Yeah, you're sick. You should be locked up, gang, by the way. Yeah. It's true, though. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get to sue because of that, and you gave him permission to do it. So what the hell are we talking about? You feel me? I'm just being honest here. Like, nigga, you a weirdo. Yeah, you a goddamn weirdo, nigga. For real. Like, and I've been saying this. Like, I'm really, at this point, not on anybody's side for real. We just got to keep it 1,000. Facts is facts, gang. Facts is facts. You're not about to act like Pusha T is doing what Drake is doing. That's not the same thing, gang. It's a complete difference here. It's not the same.
That's a bitch move, because why are you suing the label? That's police shit. Why are you blaming the label? You a bitch. Well, I've told y'all, blaming the label has always existed in hip-hop, because the labels usually take advantage of artists. When you call them out, it's up to you. Maybe you called them out when they finally shelf you. Maybe you called them out because they stiffed you on some royalties. Maybe you called them out because they took your publishing. But at some point, some people call out their labels. So now, when it comes to Drake, and Drake has done it in his own way, he's been labeled as a bitch, a snitch, and everything else. When Pusha T is now saying the bullying tactics by UMG, now it's supposed to be listened to. We're either going to listen to both, or we're going to tell both of them to shut the fuck up and just let it be. UMG is daddy, and he whips you niggas accordingly. What are we going to say, chat? You can't have it both ways. Silence. I like to hear that. So let's keep reading. He said, just pay us to put it out somewhere. Okay? My thing was that we can't do that. Pusher and clips are one thing. At this point, he clearly doesn't trust you guys. You guys haven't been good stewards of his career. So they said, find another deal. Let's figure out a business. You know what that means? Go shop yourself on the market. Go get, this is Universal. Go get Sony to give us some money that we could transfer your contract or let you out of the contract because we've gotten paid. If you feel you're that valuable. By the way, when a label says you could go find another deal or they're down to let you out of a contract, that's a business decision. That's not personal. That's them saying, we don't believe that the value you hold, someone else is willing to pay. Okay? We don't.
Hold on. I want to say this. Salute to Jersey Earl in the chat who says, the story of Adidon was taken off streaming services. That is a fact. And you know why? Here's my personal opinion on that, right? And don't quote me on this. I don't want you saying it's facts. I don't want you saying, hey, the mayor said this. It has to be true. Listen to what I'm telling you. I strongly believe that Jay Prince, a.k.a. James Prince, paid money to have that song silenced. Because Jay Prince went out his way to go crazy over Pusha T dissing Drake. Facts. Jay Prince was going so crazy. And Drake was so hurt by it that he did a goddamn interview with LeBron James. Remember? He did an interview with LeBron. He was crying. He said, look, you see here, Crody. There are rules in battle rap. I don't care if they said no rules. Well, guess what, goddammit? Me and Sandra said there are some goddamn rules in battle rap, okay, Grody? Yeah, that's right. There's rules in battle rap. Yeah, that interview, gang. Yeah, I believe Jay Prince paid a lump sum of money to make it all go away again. He had to stop Drake's nightmares. He had to help Drake sleep better at night. Okay, yeah, when Pusha T dissed this nigga was hurt, incredibly hurt. He ain't know what to goddamn do. Nigga said he made a diss track back at Pusha T and deleted it. He said, I just scrapped it because you know what? Pusha T doesn't deserve this, Crody. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Pusha T's not worthy. All right, Crody. He's not worth it. I said I was gonna do a diss track, but you know what? I'm the bigger man here. Ain't that right, Bron? Yeah, I'm the bigger man. Like, shut up, nigga. Shut up. Nigga was crying and all that. Yeah, the nigga Jay Prince, to me personally, I think Jay Prince made it all go away. Yeah, Jay Prince is one of Drake's top investors, or used to be. He used to be. I want y'all to know Jay Prince don't deal with, the Prince family don't deal with Drake no more because he got the goddamn feds on them niggas. So them niggas don't rock with Drake no more. I'm going to keep saying that too. Some of y'all think that Mom Ties is connected to Drake. Not no more. Maybe a few years back, but hell no, nigga. Have you seen Jay Prince, Jazz Prince, Jay Prince Jr. around this nigga? You have not. And you won't because they don't deal with him. Nigga got the feds on the Mob Ties, gang. Yeah, he did. Yeah, the feds came to Jay Prince and then residency and all that. That's a fact. Because of Drake. Why? Well, I don't ask me why. Ask Drake why the feds approached him. You dig? All champ. That's what I'm going to say about that. I think Jay Prince himself paid to have Pusha T silenced. That's what I believe personally. Because who the hell else? Because first of all, nobody came at Drake like that ever. Like, okay, you had the Meek Mill beef, but that wasn't about nothing, right? You had a little Meek Mill battle. That wasn't about nothing. But this nigga Pusha T came out of left field wilding. So Jay Prince, to me, listen, you put some money down and you got this man silenced. You use payola to silence him. That wouldn't be the first time somebody used payola to silence an artist. It's done all the time. I want y'all to know that there is payola done all the time to silence certain artists who are not that big. I'm gonna just say that, okay? Money talks, gang. All right, ain't no rules when it comes to money in the business. Remember that. Run up these likes, smash the like, share the video. Let's get these likes to 100, please and thank you. Or over 100 would be great. Let's continue, gang. All chill.
Believe the value you hold, somebody's willing to pay. And if you think another company is willing to pay it because they think you're more valuable than what we deem your value is, go get the bread and bring it to us. And we'll let you out. It's a straight business decision. It's nothing about feelings. And again, this just shows, and you won't see certain artists get told this. That doesn't happen. It's a fact. It's the reason why for most artists, if they're hot, they're on fire after the first project or the most recent successful project, they get re-upped and they get locked in a longer deal. They just get promised more money. Okay? It's like having an NBA player who just dropped 35 a game all season. You never want that nigga to be a free agent. Unless you're the Dallas Mavericks, like shopping Luka Doncic, you never get rid of the star player, the franchise player. It's when you're constantly on the trade block and they're like, if you don't agree to our terms, we don't give a fuck where you go. That's when you should know your value and your leveraging is low. Being honest. So they said, found another deal. Let's figure out business. They didn't drop us. They were like, pay us this money, which was an exorbitant amount of money, like a shit ton of money. We'll let you out a deal. That's what happened. We paid them the money, an insane amount of money. It wasn't like $200,000. It was a lot of money for an artist to come up with. They bought themselves out the deal. How many solo albums did Pusha have left on Def Jam? I don't really want to talk about that part, but he had like 3 left. So you had to pay 7 figures to get out of the deal. Yes, millions of dollars. How quickly were you to get another deal in place? Happened simultaneously with us getting out the previous deal. It took a couple of weeks for us to figure out the paperwork. Again, it was a lot of money. We kept going back and forth. Can we pay this amount of money? And a part of the profit, can we figure out a deal where we pay the guys to make money off the new release instead of coming up with this large lump sum right now? They said no. They were like, we want our money and we want some profits. So I knew that we had a deal in principle, a deal with Def Jam. I got on the phone with Jay-Z and said, look, this is happening. We've been talking to XYZ together. There's an opportunity to do this album. What do you think? He hit me back right away. He says, you just made my deal. Let's figure it out. What do we need to get it done? I went back to Pusha T and said, listen, Jay's going to give us a very artist-friendly deal. We get to own the masters. They'll put the marketing power of Roc Nation behind it. You guys are friends. It's a great outcome. We worked out a deal in less than 24 hours. Now, here's the thing, and I'm pretty fair with all my criticisms of everybody. I used to say, Rock Nation is a label that has been accused, and this is not by me. This is by other people, and I could name them. All right. So what I'm saying is not allegations. I don't need to say alleged because there's actual people I could point to. I got that information from them. Rock Nation has participated alleged. Well, I'm still saying allegedly because I don't know if they did it as a fact, but people have alleged that they did it. Participated in torturous interference, which means they'll see an artist in a deal. The label doesn't have any plans of dropping that person, and Rock Nation will try to fuck up the deal because they want to steal the artist. I told you about Meg, told you about Uzi, I told you about Bobby. Those are artists that definitely it happened with. Now, with this situation, I'm not going to say it happened with Pusha because it looks like Pusha was running into a wall up at UMG and probably was maybe about to be shelved, and they told him, hey, find somebody else that will pay for this shit, and we'll get you on out of here. And look like Rock Nation, they were a hero in that situation. And I'm saying that currently, I might get more information. I'm gonna do a couple calls. Maybe I hear a different story because we know how Rock Nation usually gets down. They're never wearing the cape. They're usually coming in with the villain mask. Okay, so okay, cool. We have to give them a cut also, which is insane. Steven Victor, I like you. I fuck with you very heavy. You do know that I've talked to you personally, but you know that's not insane. When you're leaving a label, when they give you money. And what they've not recouped, they want their money back, but they also usually want a cut of future profits. That's just how it goes. To say that's insane, maybe the amount that they asked for, now it becomes a negotiation. I don't think that's insane. If anybody works in the music business or deals with labels, that is the same thing. I'll use a personal example because it ain't my shit. Caribou got a deal with Yachty. Yachty told me on this stream, and he's told me personally, I'm down for her to go wherever. She could go to Mars, she could go to Jupiter, she could go to Egypt. I don't give a fuck where she goes. Here's the thing, though. Yachty was going to let her go like just scot-free. Yachty got a couple great business people around him. Also, Yachty's label folds up under QC. Before QC was folding up under Motown and Capitol, but now it folds up under AMG, which is a label.
Speaking of Caribou, she just got arrested on Sunday for like battery or something. I don't know what she did. That girl is insane, bro. Caribou is a maniac. She's a maniac, bro. Caribou is a maniac. She got locked up on Sunday. It just passed. For battery. If you don't know who Caribou is, don't worry about it. It's not worth researching. But for those of you that do, because I'm sure some of you know who Caribou is, we used to be with that group that Yachty had, the Concrete Boys, whatever the hell their name was. Yeah, Field Project. Yeah, Shorty just got locked up on Sunday for battery. I don't know who she hit, did things to, but she crashed out, gang. Just know that she crashed out. By the way, run up these likes, gang. Smash up on the like. Oh, champ. Let's go.
Akademiks Music Group. Now, they just got sold. There's a lot of, when you're signed to QC through a subsidiary, which this is, Concrete Group, yes, they own Caribou. They're not going to tell Caribou to walk her ass over there to Sony and just give all her value that Yachty and they invested in her. No, they're going to say, we're $700,000 in the hole, and we had her for 5 more albums. We want $1 million, and we want 15% of the profits going forward for the next 3 albums or 4 albums. It's a negotiation at that point, but this is standard. This is nothing out of the blue. Again, if this is insane, the whole music industry is insane, and nobody should be in it if you thought this was insane. Steven Victor used to be a senior vice president. Let's Google it. Steven Victor, SVP. He was a senior vice president of what was it? He worked at Def Jam. So he was one of the guys at Def Jam. Look, going back, this is 2017. Steven Victor, respected artist and manager in A&R, is joining Def Jam. So the same company that he is talking about, he was serving as the executive vice president and head of A&R, and he was on the senior team. That's what it was. So to say after you are doing your own thing now, that company was doing some crazy shit. One thing is a artist saying that. Pusha T is an artist. You were an executive over there, sir. I got to be honest. You were an executive.
I want to make this very clear. I want you to know that this degenerate is wearing a Corn Hub shirt too. By the way, yeah. This guy's wearing a Corn Hub shirt. Did you know that, champ? Yeah, he's wearing a Corn Hub shirt. You got to be a real degenerate to even own a shirt with a corn sight on it. By the way, you're a degenerate, champ. You're a loser. I don't give a damn how much money you got. You are a loser. You suck. You a weirdo. Something's wrong with you. By the way, Corn Hub is also a website that got in major trouble for having tons of illegal kitty corn on their website in the last couple of years. I want y'all to know that too. Yeah, that's not the site you want to have on your shirt, but you know the history that site has. Yeah, that site actually produced a lot of illegal trafficking videos of women and children. Yeah, I wouldn't be wearing that shirt. I wouldn't be wearing that shirt. Just in general, if you have on a corn site shirt, you are a weirdo. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser, bro. You are promoting gooning. You have a gooning champ. You're wearing a gooning t-shirt. Your t-shirt is pro goonery. Sick. You're a sicko, gang. Come on.
Okay? And for you to say that was insane tells me either you never, and by the way, here's the thing too. Okay, can't find. Here's the thing too. You saw a lot of other artists that probably got done the same way. So if it wasn't insane for them, why is it insane for Pusha T? It's business as usual. That's how the majors give it up. We own your shit. You got a problem with this own your shit? You want to go walk down the road to Sony or Warner? This is what we want. Give us $1 million. Give us $2 million because we've spent. This is how they're going to look at it. They're going to look at a spreadsheet. This is not personal. This is all business. Hey, we've spent $3 million promoting your last 2 projects. You owe us 3 more. It was a 5-album deal. I'm making this up right now. I'm just trying to use some numbers so you could get it. So we spent $3 million promoting your last 2 projects. Your projects only brought in $1.5 million up to date. Remember, we do own your projects in perpetuity, but currently we're down $1.5 million. Okay? So we're down $1.5 million. You want to walk away after we've created some value and invested marketing money that you can now take to somewhere else. No, sir, buddy. You owe us $1.5 million. If you want to get out of here, you're going to give us 2.5 because when we invest in artists, we like to double up, triple up. We want quadruple up. So we're going to be nice to you. We don't want 1.5 directly. This ain't no bank that gets no fucking interest. No, we want 2.5, and I think that's even generous. They might say they want $3 million. Then they might say, hey, listen, because the inherent value that we produce is going to get you another deal, we want a percentage, but only of the profit. Makes sense. It happens in business. It happens in the music business. Here's the thing: when fans, who are usually just dick riding so much that they forget about business and they start thinking about the people involved, Kendrick, Drake, Pusha T, they don't care about business anymore. This is normal business. Okay? I think the only thing fans should be talking about is it right that UMG should interfere with the lyrics of people. Now, whatever you say mixes with the Drake situation. If you said they shouldn't have prevented, no, and it's not about should or would, because here's the thing too. This is a business, okay? Let's be clear. Pusha T, nobody. Drake, biggest artist. Drake is bringing in 10,000 the amount of money. So for every dollar Pusha T brings in, Drake brings in $10,000. Do the math. We're not going to let the nobody violate the guy. And again, it's not up to you or me to say what's right. If you want to go make the rules, don't sign to a major. Sit at home, go on TuneCore, and TuneCore not going to tell you don't diss Drake. You could go on TuneCore and say, fuck Drake, fuck his dead diss, nobody's going to care. But if you take that check from that major label, you got a daddy. And if daddy want to take his belt out and give you a spanking, it's going to happen. Exactly. So let's just go with that thought. And by the way, it does work both ways, because I think that's what they're saying to Drake. Yes, we've done this before, but we spanked that nigga because he's a small artist. Kendrick, we knew was going to get the bag. And to keep it real, we don't prefer you over Kendrick. Surprise. We just care about money. So daddy will spank you too.
Yeah, that Drake and Kendrick beef made so much bread. And UMG didn't give a damn who was this and who, because apparently it was in the public interest, right? Everybody was tuned in, right? That's what everybody was tuned in now. Guess what? Now that that's happened, a lot of rappers cannot even make a hit right now because of it. Yeah. As great as it was to see in the moment and as dope as that was, it became problematic. I ain't gonna lie. Now we can't get no hits from nobody else. Even though there's some people putting out some fire music, nobody gives a damn, no. Champ, nobody gives a damn. It's messed up, but it's true. Nobody give a damn, man. Like I said, I told y'all this before. I said Offset got some fire joints that he dropped that nobody seems to care about. Do they have over 1 million views? Sure. Is the music great? Yes. Do people give a damn? No. Like there's other artists down here that's dropping fire, but don't nobody care. Ain't nobody caring to tap in like they should. For some weird reason. Algorithm is shifting, champ, for some reason. I don't know what's going on here, gang. You even have people that rap very well that also are not getting any shine at all either. It's just in a weird place. Rap is in a very weird space. I don't know. Run up these lights, gang.
And it is what it is. Drake might have to take the loss. But if you are in support of the idea, one way or the other, that they should or shouldn't, because now we're thinking about y'all feelings, you can't say, oh, Drake was lying about common practices and he's just salty about the battle. Then listen to the story and say, well, see how Drake fucking up the industry? No. Drake didn't build this shit. He only furthered it.
Salute to Big Who Shot You, who said the truest thing ever. It's like hip-hop culture has paused for only this moment going on. It's sad. It's true. It's true, gang. It is facts. Bro, we ain't about to see another. The next time we see somebody touch a Billboard outside of Kendrick in the top 10, it's probably going to be Drake. Whenever Drake's album drops, Drake about to go on a European tour next month. For my understanding, I don't know. Matter of fact, I don't even know if it's next month. This summer, Drake is supposed to be going on a whole European tour. I don't know when he's dropping his album. I have no idea. It's called Iceman and all that. Who knows? Like I said, Drake is the most likely rapper to hit Billboard top 10 after Kendrick. Likely. Doesn't mean that he's going to, but it's likely. If Nokia is in the top 10 still, then there's a chance that Drake might get a song or two on the top 10. It's possible. It's possible, gang. I'm just saying. Hold up.
What they did for Drake, they done did for 50. They done did for a lot of other motherfuckers. Welcome to Business 101. Y'all got 4 levels to get to. So for the people who think Drake fucked up the industry, no, think about why y'all signing to majors. But nobody wants to have that conversation because everybody acts broke and they need daddy's check. But when daddy don't act right, now they get mad. And that might include Drake in that. Shit, Drake. You felt you were protected by daddy. Daddy didn't want to protect you that time. No. Cool. Drake lawsuit. Yeah, you can file a lawsuit. For the people who said he had no proof, this is the proof. So UMG has fucked around and forced people to say what they wanted them to say. So it's if you've been operating like this and treating me like this, now it actually makes me a little bit more on Drake's side. If you've been stopping niggas from saying certain shit about me, possibly, why not stop this nigga from calling me a pedophile, the most harmful thing? Oh.
That would make sense why these niggas went on a diss spree. They thought that them niggas doing disses was going to get them somewhere. It didn't do nothing. Because nobody gave a damn that Joey Badass was dissing niggas. And nobody gave a damn that Rayvon was dissing back. And nobody gave a damn that they like, nigga, are we talking about that right now? Hell no, we not, nigga. We don't give a damn about all that. Public, it wasn't a public interest. And ain't none of that, and none of those goddamn songs get 1 million views. Niggas thought because Kendrick and Drake did it that they could do it. Hell no, nobody give a damn about you niggas. Let's just be real. The majority of the hip hop fans didn't give a damn about that beef or battle. It was very niche specific. Yeah, it was very niche hip hop. All right, a lot of the nerds, like some of y'all nerd rappers and backpack basement loving fans, really enjoyed that. Y'all wanted to see a bunch of disses randomly. Nigga, the world of hip hop didn't give a damn. As they really shouldn't. All right. But again, it's so, like I said, there's so much of the dissing. Them niggas thought that them doing disses meant something. Don't nobody care. Okay? Nobody cares. Okay? Young Thug about to drop an album. It's about to go triple plywood. I love Young Thug. I think Young Thug is an amazing artist, a legend, and all that. But unfortunately, that nigga's album is about to go triple plastic Starbucks coffee mug. Unfortunately. Yeah, that new album, not gonna go well. And I heard some of the songs on that album. Young Thug is also very much washed up. Thug don't got the same swag he used to. The nigga lost his swag. His swag's gone, champ. He got locked up for a good 3 years. He came back out. He's not skinny anymore. He's eating good. He can't talk about gang stuff and about sliding on the ops. This album's going to be very, very, very mid. Just a heads up. Okay? Yeah. Unfortunate. But yeah, hip-hop not looking too good. I forgot what Lil Wayne's dropping. Lil Wayne, don't get your hopes up for that neither. I'm not getting my hopes up from no goddamn Wayne because we know good and damn well don't nobody give a damn about Wayne's album. So for all the people fronting out here, glazing and all that, you don't give a damn about Wayne's album. I don't give a damn about Wayne's album. So stop pretending that you do. Okay? Cut it out, champ. Cut it out, champ. I love Wayne too, but we're not getting what we think we're getting, gang. Okay? All right. That album is another album that's gonna go triple Starbucks plastic cup. Another one. Another one, champ. Yeah, that's going double honey tea bag, gang. That's going triple espresso. All right, it ain't going gold, platinum, and none of that stuff. So let's not get our hopes up, okay? Let's stop pretending to get our hopes up too. You don't give a damn about Wayne's album, and I don't give a damn about Wayne's album. Let's not pretend that we give a damn. Crazy part is y'all give more of a damn about Drake's album than y'all do Wayne album. Let's be real. Yeah. You know you do. Deep down you do, champ. Deep down you give more of a damn about Drake album than you do Wayne's. You know that, true. Everybody knows that. Come on. Come on, gang.
Y'all got some angle. Now, again, because everybody is signed to Daddy, and it's Daddy's show, and it's Daddy's business, Drake might lose a lawsuit. Because they might be like, fuck out of here. They can do what they want. It's their business. They don't got to play fair with you. Fuck. Yeah, they could block Pusha T shit and not block Kendrick, not like us. Fuck out of here. And Drake is going to have to try to prove that was wrong. But it's clear we now have proof that UMG uses these tactics, and it's not unreasonable for Drake to have assumed they would. However, it don't mean it's an auto win that they didn't do it for Drake, so he's going to win the lawsuit. It just means there's some valid proof to the lawsuit shit. That's it. Okay. Keep reading. All right. The deal didn't work out. Okay. Now he has 3 deals in 3 different places. At the beginning of his solo career, we put out records independently with Master Appeal. He owns those records. Then we did a deal with Good Music, Def Jam. Then when Kanye left, we worked out an agreement with him where it gave Pusha his masters back on the Good Music side. And then we did this deal with Jay. So it looked like on the Good Music side, he got his masters back, but Def Jam, remember, so what usually happened is Def Jam, Good Music, they usually split the masters. Good Music gets half, and Def Jam gets half. That's usually what happens, okay? Unless there's another type of deal, which is, again, everything's leverage-based. This is straight business, no feelings, okay? Pusha's having way more successful, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. What is there a big deal about this? It's not a big deal about this. Welcome to the music business. In the grand scheme of thing, Pusha is a roach. Someone who gets crushed when bigger artists come in. Again, I'm being very fair here. One sense we could look at Drake and be like, you could only bully small artists. You can't bully someone close to your size. Okay. The only thing we can say after reading this is that Drake was lying. Like Drake just made this shit up. And I think sensible minds always thought, nah, Drake knows some shit. Yeah, Drake knew some shit. Will he win the lawsuit? Remains to be seen. Okay? All right, I don't know why y'all want me to talk about that so bad.
Oh, shit. Wait a minute.
Views are in support of the idea,
Yeah,
one way or the other, that they
shut up. Call Pusha T a roach, gang. Yeah. said that nigga was a roach. You hear that, champ? He said that Negro was a pest, should be sprayed with Raid, okay? It's what he said about Pusha, okay? Oh, this crazy, gang. I ain't gonna lie. This is insane. Look here, man. Truth of the matter is, Pusha's not a big artist. All right, he's not. This is true. I also said the reason for them trying to stop his verse was because I believe strongly that Jay Prince put payola up there. I just believe these things. Again, this is not facts. This is my own opinion when I say this. I believe that Jay Prince put money up on Pusha's career to not go further with UMG. I believe these things. I believe ever since the story of Adidon that your boy Jay Prince went out his way to try to shun Pusha T from being shined brightly in the music business, or at least for UMG's sake, because he signed a UMG. This is what I believe personally. Okay. Now remember, your boy Jay Prince is no longer affiliated or associated with Drake. Drake's on his own. This last album you're about to get from Drake is his last album with UMG. From what I understand, he's supposed to sign with Warner Brothers or something, or he's going independent. I don't know yet. We're going to see. But yeah, things seem to be getting interesting. But yeah, this is what's going on right now, gang. But look, man, y'all make sure y'all leave a comment below and let me know what y'all think about all this madness. Do you believe the madness that's being said? All right? What do you think about all this? Do you think Jay Prince also tried to purposefully put down Pusha T's career with UMG? You let me know how you feel in the comments, gang. Make sure you smash the like button and share the video, by the way. Run up these likes. The likes do help the algorithm. If you are new to the channel, I need you to make sure you do subscribe. All right. We're going to have more content tomorrow, by the way. Salute to everybody that tapped in. Also, join the Discord. The Discord link is in the chat. It's a fire Discord. We have nearly 1,000 members in the Discord because it's a lit Discord. It's fire in there, gang. So join the Discord. The Discord link is in the chat. But one more announcement, gang. Are y'all ready for this one? It's the man, the one and only New York Mayor, F. Eric Adams, and you're rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham. And you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you share the video. I'm up out of here, gang. Salute.